Hey y'all, I'm Kate with Salty Katie, and today I thought I'd show you my health and wellness bullet journal setup. So last week, if you remember, I talked about my mood and miles tracker that I set up in my A5 Slim Jibon Techo. If you want to see more about that, I'll link a video up here. So that is sort of the first part of my health and wellness tracking, is that mood and miles. But here's the second part. So this is an A6 Stalogy that I've got in this super cute little mint A6 Perfect Pocket Folio. And on the front here, I have this little charm from Stationery Wonderland, and it says, "You tried," which I absolutely love. So on the inside here, I've just got a couple of Project Life size cards. And throughout this bullet journal, I've got either funny quotes or inspiring quotes, that kind of thing, something to keep me engaged. So here's my index. I started this in, I want to say, July of 2020. And I started it in July because in June I had the first of two surgeries to correct exercise-induced compartment syndrome. I had the surgery on my left leg and I thought I was done. So as I was recovering, I had the surgery in June. As I was recovering in July, I started this bullet journal because I thought I was on the road to running, you know, seriously again. And because I used to be a long distance triathlete and runner and all that stuff. I've done everything, every distance from 5K runs all the way to half iron distance triathlon. I mean, I was really into it. And then this exercise-induced compartment syndrome started in 2015 or 2016, and I didn't have any health insurance to kind of chase it down. Well, in 2020, I got health insurance, and I took that insurance card and started chinging it around like it was a debit card or something, chased down the problem, and had the first surgery in June. So in July, I started this bullet journal. So this is this is super important. So this says, "Is your behavior helping you reach your goals? Ho." So if you're trying to get somewhere, you're trying to get something done, you're trying to lose weight, grow your business, eat better, clean your house, it does not matter. You can always ask yourself this question: is your behavior helping you to reach your goals? And so I listed a bunch of behaviors out here, and then on this side it says not effing helpful, and this says helpful. Just as a reminder. And then here is my weight chart that I started back in July, and this says later bitches. Yeah. Then here are my measurements that I started back. I'm not showing this, y'all. I'm from the South, and we don't talk about what we weigh in public if you're female. So there's that. Then the next one is meal ideas. I think in the coming week, and as a matter of fact, today, I think I'm going to set up a meal plan and place a grocery order focused on vegetables and crap like that. If you watched my 21 in 2021 video, I'll link it up here. I talked about eating effing vegetables. Here's snack ideas, inspiration, a couple of inspiring quotes there. Here's one: "The two most powerful warriors are patience and time," Leo Tolstoy. Here are a couple of races I want to do, and you can see here, I want to do the Run the Line half, and I was planning on doing it in 2021 before I discovered that my right leg actually needed surgery too. That's why this bullet journal was abandoned in, September. And Las Vegas. So I've marked out 2021 and put in 2022 on both these races. Here is a half marathon training program. This is from Higdon, Higdon. I'll link it below. A whole ton of people use this to start half marathon training. You can start at any time after you reach a 3-mile threshold. If you can run 3 miles without a whole lot of trouble, then inside of 12 weeks you can run a half marathon. Not too bad, not too bad. I have followed this plan for every half marathon. This one, or this is probably the novice plan, because I'm basically starting again, but they have different levels of plans. So you could do, I've done the intermediate level. I think there's novice 1, novice 2, maybe an intermediate. So I've done different ones of those plans. Super helpful. Here's a habit flow chart with cues, reward, and routine. If you're seeing a theme here, this is about changing behaviors, this bullet journal. And then I've got a couple of pages marked off here for mileage. I've started mileage tracking again. And I think what I'm going to do is, I don't think I left myself as much space as I'm going to need. So this may hold me for probably a quarter, so I'll be able to look quarter to quarter how my mileage is going. And then see, it started, and this is when I actually started. The bullet journal was in July, and then here's my July goals. Moods and feels. I don't know what I was planning on doing with this, so we'll just leave it there in case I come up with something. And then this is my first run log, so this would have been, I think this is July. Yeah, so this is my run log for July. So this would have been the month after I had surgery. My left leg did not heal nearly so quickly as my right leg is now. I had a lot more pain with it. I had to take pain medication longer. It hurt for longer. And then down here you'll see in July, this says foot and ankle pain. I was not able to go because my foot hurt so bad. It just turned out, I was scared to death out of stress fracture or something, but that's not what it was. It turned out to just be like, you know, tendons and crap. So that turned out okay. And then, you know, I suck at habit tracking, and so I'm not doing it anymore. So here's my July habits. It looks like I got through most of the month tracking on these habits, but you'll see next month it completely falls off. Here's my little grid cheat sheet, and I put in some, what do you call this? Acetate to mark August. This might be interesting or useful for somebody if you're trying to track your mood, anything where you need to track triggers. This might be useful. So I made a list of triggers here, and I made a list of helpers here, and then used that to track my sleep, my stress level, and my mood. Because I got this idea from a lady on YouTube. I cannot remember her name, but she used a solid line for sleep, a dotted line for mood, and then a dashed line for stress. And I thought it was a really good idea. And so I added to that the triggers here. These are the things that, you know, triggered my mood, and then notes, which was for the things that I did to help my situation. So, for instance, the triggers might be poor sleep, poor nutrition, you know, just having stressful situations come up, you know, that kind of thing. So I put numbers to them and then started charting them out here, because during this time I was struggling just with mood and stress and sleep and was just struggling. You know how it is. So this is my August run log, and you can see there's not very many runs here. I was just in a lot more pain with my left leg than I was on my right leg. And see, here's my August habits. I got through the 11th and quit. So I'm not doing it anymore. Because I'm thinking to myself always, oh, I need to track this, and I need to track that, and I need to track this. And then I will not do it, so I'm going to stop. You know, it must not be that important. Next is intentional thoughts. If you have any mood problems, if you have anxiety or depression or anything like that, people like that, your thoughts kind of, at least they can for me, run rampant. And if you're not keeping a check on that, if you're not guiding your thoughts, then you can end up in sort of a ditch mood-wise. And so that's what intentional thoughts were for, so that you can practice thoughts that are calming and helpful, as opposed to thoughts that are not helpful. Here's another page of intentional thoughts. And then here's another trigger tracker, I'm assuming for August. And so also got through about the 11th and quit that. So this, while I think could be super useful for some people, maybe wasn't as useful for me. Here's emotional acceptance, just some tips to kind of accept your emotions instead of fighting against them. And then a feeling wheel. So fear, anger, disgust, sad, and happy, and surprise. And then they just move out from there with all different types of emotions, just to help you identify your feelings. So I started meditating in August, and I tracked a portion of it here, and then I've made a note down here, see meditation log for October 2020 in my B5 book. So I think I must have meditated for part of August and then quit. I'm not sure. Oh, I was going to attempt to track my energy level over the course of a day. Fail. I made it like 3 or 4 hours. It's fine. It's fine, y'all. Okay, and so in between August and then September and now, what happened was, when I finally got to the point where I could start running again on my left leg, my right leg started acting up. And when I tell y'all, I could have sat down in the street and started crying, because I had struggled so hard for so long to get this problem dealt with, and just could not believe that my right leg was acting up. But you know what? Whatever. It started on a Monday. I went out on a Monday running and had problems with my right leg. I went out on a Wednesday, had problems with my right leg. Went out on a Friday. I had to stop my workout short. It was so bad. So I called the doctor right then and scheduled to have another compartment pressure test, and boom. The readings were off the charts, and we scheduled surgery that day. So, I mean, it was a setback, but I took a hold of it immediately, dealt with it, and now I've had both surgeries, and we're on the right track. So here's January 2021. Look at all the workouts, y'all. I'm so excited. Look at all of them. Okay, this is my favorite way to track workouts and running. So I've got the 1st through the 31st here, and then across the top we've got RBO, which means run, bike, other. So this is the type of workout I did. Then we've got M for miles, T for time, P for pace, and then leg pain, LP, and foot pain, FP. And then I put little notes right here. So as you can see, in January, I am on it, girlfriend, on it. So in January, I did a total of 19 workouts. 16 of them were run-walk workouts, and I made 15.73 miles. And I just had surgery last month. So as far as I'm concerned, this is pretty freaking awesome, and I'm excited about it. So, and then I made little notes down at the bottom here. So this says good, tiny jog. I think this is the first time I actually ran. A little more jog, little jog, more running, and it was sopping wet. This day, on the 25th, I stepped into the biggest freaking puddle on my run track, because I've actually got a little track immediately next to my house, so I can just run out of my driveway and hit the little track there. And I go at 5 o'clock in the morning when it's still pitch black, because my anxiety is the very worst in the morning. And so I go at 5 so that I can just get out there, and because running calms me so much, I can like start my day, you know, after I run. So I was out there running, having a good time, and then just stepped in the middle of the biggest, deepest puddle out there. And I brought up, when I stepped back out of the puddle, I brought up so much water that I splashed it all onto my other foot too, so I ran with both wet feet, and it just made me laugh so hard. I mean, I went from, this is why I run, because when I went out there, I was just anxious and sick feeling, and then I start running, step into a puddle, and I end up laughing instead of having so much anxiety. So, yeah. Running's good for you, people. And then the very next one was coyotes. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm at Salty Katie Co. I go at 5 o'clock in the morning because I thought that the coyotes would go to bed for the night by 5. Well, let me tell you, 5:20 the morning of the 27th, I was out on the running track, and I'm bebopping along, you know, having a nice workout, and then I see something out of the corner of my eye on the right hand side, and it was so big. At first I thought it was a deer, and I thought, ooh, deer, but then I saw that like silvery fur reflecting in the moonlight, y'all, and it was a big old coyote running across in front. He couldn't have been 30 or 40 feet from me, and then his friend came across behind him. Y'all, my little heart was like, do-do. I just stood there. I mean, I didn't know what else to do, and so they just hauled cookies across the track there and off down into the woods. Never made a sound. If they had been behind me instead of in front of me, I'd have never known they were there, because I was wearing my earphones too, so I couldn't have heard them, running or anything. Ooh, it is so much fun to live rural, y'all. Let me just tell you. And then this one's kind of funny too. I only made 0.96 of a mile, and I wrote here pitiful with a little asterisk, because when you run, sometimes that's what happens. You get out there and you're just like, Jesus, this is so pitiful. I can't even, whatever. But again, for me, it's funny and not aggravating, because I'm remembering what it is to run. And some days it's just not, you get out there and you just feel like crap or whatever. So even that was funny to me. So here's another good quote. Is that even possible? I never asked that question until it's done. Han Solo. Excellent. And then here is my pace chart for January. So what we're looking for it to do is kind of go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, but overall in a downward motion. We want to see that pace decrease as I walk faster and run more. I want to see kind of, it's going to go up and down because that's how pace is, but in the end, I want it to come all the way down. So here's my pace. You can see I started close to 18 minutes a mile. That was my pitiful day right there. And then we're headed back down. And just to show you that my pace is actually decreasing quite a lot, I went ahead, because I'm a big nerd, I went ahead and did a little post-it note to show you what the chart would actually look like if we extended it 3 more days into February. See, my pace is really decreasing here because I'm really running a lot more and walking less. So, love it. So excited. So I've already got my run log set up for February here. Here it is. There's my first 3 days. And then did I set up? Yeah, I've got my pace chart set up. And I actually even changed the numbers here, one less. So a maximum of 17 minutes a mile, down to a minimum of 13 minutes a mile. I probably won't hit 13 in February, but it's always good to have a dream. So anyway, this is my health and wellness bullet journal setup, and the portions of it that I will continue with, that I'm looking forward to the most. I'm going to start with the meal ideas and the snacks today and fill that out more. I'm going to continue to look up races to do. It's not time for the half marathon checklist yet. I am abandoning habit tracking. It's not working. I'm not doing it, and I don't care. I am abandoning trigger tracking. I don't feel like I need that right now. Things are going well enough that I don't feel the need to do it. Here, another habits, boop, done with that. I am going to continue with the intentional thoughts. I think that makes good sense. Trigger tracking, we're abandoning that. And abandon that. So I'm going to keep up with my run log, with my pace logs, and then be working on the meal and snack ideas as time moves on. So anyway, there's my setup. I'm super excited about it. I'm enjoying it. If you've ever been a runner or somebody who works out a lot, we just geek out on the numbers. I want to know what my pace looks like. I want to know how many workouts I've done. I want to know how much time I've spent on my feet. And you know what I need to do too? I was thinking about tracking the weather with it, because that's also super interesting. We're going to have our first 20-something degree mornings next week. February is always, in my experience, is the coldest month. So especially in the mornings. So I think I might start tracking the weather as well. Maybe I'll add that to my run log. Anyway, so there's my health and wellness bullet journal set up. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you keep a bullet journal or a planner of some kind like this? Do you have some health and wellness goals for 2021? I'd love to hear it if you want to drop them in the comments below. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you again real soon. Bye.